Hey, it's Tim Spinning Showman. I'm the newest member of the Freestyle Club. Boom!
Warning. The Freestyle Club contains adult language. It is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. This is Freestyle Club with your hosts, the unknown admin, Rafael Reyes, and CPR Jose Ortiz.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Freestyle Club. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and of course, I'm being joined by the unknown admin, Rafael Reyes.
What's good, you bastards?
It's the only interview that matters.
On the third chair, we have the one and the only Tim Spinning Shomer. Welcome to the Freestyle Club.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for the warm welcome. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Thank you.
Rafael described it best. He feels like he's meeting Superman for the first time.
Why is that? Oh, you're meeting Superman. Gotcha, from the T-shirt.
I think it's because the legend that follows you when it comes to your legendary mixtapes and when it comes to how much you mean to the people that listen to your craft, because you tell stories within your mix. And as I stated previously on this podcast, when I listen to Tim Spinning Shomer Freestyle Boom, I can sing every song for the whole, length of the entire CD. I could do every single song back to back. I could sing the entire mix straight through.
And then when you hear the songs and the mix doesn't come through, you're like, what happened? That's supposed to be Tears of Tears by Tonasia, or it's supposed to be something.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Every time that happens to me as well, like I'm listening to the song by itself, but when the break beat comes in, I'm doing Tim Spinning Showman's in the mix. Tim Spinning. He's got it going on,
That's so funny. That means it's working. I tricked you. My hypnosis is in there, yeah.
It's totally the mixing. He's Superman on the decks in the mix, but also he has that Clark Kent demeanor. The guy carries himself, like no other. Well, every other DJ is screaming, me, shares, numbers, look what I can do. Tim is just busy playing the music, So I love that about him.
I had a flyer picture made about 20 years ago with me ripping my shirt open and the Superman T-shirts on, and I thought that's what you're talking about. And I used that picture probably for 15 years, and it worked. It worked,
No, it's iconic. That's the that's the image I get. The iconic boom. It goes that picture.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for those kind words. That's nice of you. And hey, man, it's always got to be about the music. It really does. I mean, there's a lot of other. I don't want to get pulled into that conversation, but when the smoke clears, you just got to keep smile. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. I try to stay drama free.
Yeah, while everybody's fighting and they're talking about how they're number one, you're over there going, give me $40 for all these CDs that I'm selling. You know what I mean? Like people really don't get that. Okay, so maybe you have 10,000 viewers or whatever the case may be, but how many of those 10,000 viewers spend any money on your product? And so those are the things that you really have to worry about. That's the dollars and cents. And you're a family man, so I'm sure that you're always thinking of different ways to feed your family.
Kids got to eat. Apparently, you're not supposed to just put a bowl out and let them eat for the day. You're supposed to feed them every day, and they keep growing, and you got to get new shoes and stuff like that. But that's the whole deal. Trying to raise some kids.
I'm a living testament to buying those CDs because I bought mine last week, and I'm still waiting because they were sold out. So you had to get them repressed.
Yeah, they should be all out now. I believe I sent them all out, so you should probably get it. I probably didn't realize it was you when you were asking, so otherwise I would have hooked you up.
Oh, no, it's okay. Nobody knows. It's all right.
He's the unknown admin for a reason.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're all out. Everything that has been in, I sent them all out today. I just had a T-shirt out to Lizette Melendez, too, so hopefully she'll put that on, and I'll get a cool picture and be able to sell more T-shirts.
That's going to be great. Lizette Melendez is a big, big fan of the Freestyle Club.
Yeah, she's the best. She really is. What a talent. She's always been real good to me. Back in the day when Carlos Barrios started After Dark Records, me and it was ARG and I. We took a trip to New York, and we hung out with Carlos Barrios, and it was so much fun just to be there. And it was like Lizette Melendez performed, and also there was this new artist Joy May, and Nina Benya was there that performed. I get a chance to meet Frank Reyes, Johnny O was there, Giggles was there. I've got pictures to prove it all too. That's why, it was just a great time in our life. But when are you going to say? I live because I'm from Chicago, so being in New York and in that scene and just being able to, hang out with Carlos Barrios and stay at his apartment. He was, yeah, come on, dude. If you fly out, you can stay with me. And so we slept on his floor or his couch or whatever. But just to be in it, it was crazy. And I was just telling Charlie, Charlie Baby's on the show every week. And I was just telling Charlie, I go, when did this all really happen? I was trying to think of, the very beginning. First of all, I've been a club DJ for a long, long time. And then in 1989, I got on the radio, or I was asked to join the B96 Mixmasters. And the same week, I also got asked to become a Billboard dance reporter. So, I've been a club guy, a club DJ for a long, long time. And then, but now here I am on the radio with Bad Boy Bill and Julian Jumpin' Perez, two of Chicago's iconic DJs, if not the world. I mean, two guys you don't want to be surrounded. And I knew, I knew I wasn't going to out-house music, out-house Bad Boy Bill. I knew I wasn't going to out-DJ Julian Perez, so I needed to find really a niche. And I always gravitated towards, Expose and Fascination and the Miami sound. And are you kidding me? When I heard, the first time in New York, I heard, we just stumbled to the Palladium. We just had to be in town. They said, let's go to the Palladium. And performing was TKA and Sweet Sensation and Rainy Davis. Sweetheart she sang Sweetheart, but what an amazing time! And as we're walking out of the Palladium, they're handing out promo copies of the cassette of Boy Have Been Told, just to give you a time marker when it was all happening. And it was just, man, I was so hooked, and I already I've probably paid to see TKA. Many times before, but to see them, just happened to stumble into a club and they were there was just amazing. But that's kind of how I got into freestyle.
I had to skip school to go see TKA. They were at the what they call now Six Flags. We had to take this walk, and this walk was many, many miles, and we just skipped school so we can walk there and make sure we got there for the concert. And man, my life changed, so I could understand where you're coming from.
Never a disappointing show with TKA, man. They always have the moves. I always thought if I could just learn those dance moves, maybe I could just sneak on and be another member. And what's crazy is Mario, DJ Nonstop here in Chicago, is one of the swing kids. And it's so funny. I bump into him at different clubs, or he'll be booked at the same parties that I'm at. And I'll be playing Maria, and he'll go, "You didn't do those scratches, I did." Maria, see ya. I'm jealous of him. I've always been, but what a nice guy, man. I always wish I could have been a swing kid.
Well, you are. You are. Every time that we tune into your Facebook live show, we see you dancing, and I'm like, he belongs in TKA. He should be the fourth, the fifth, or the seventh member.
The seventh member, yeah, exactly. Like I was a member of the Village People way off. I was the businessman with the leisure suit on, but they kicked me out before they got big. But no,
it was the telecommuter, but it just didn't fit at the time, right?
Exactly, telecommuter, yeah, exactly. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, exactly. It just didn't work. Just didn't work out.
You needed to find a niche, so freestyle was it for you.
Yeah, so because it would go over so well for me at the clubs, and Without You by George Lamond was just came out, and I was already playing, a lot of it in the clubs. But I just started, I just kind of gravitated towards it because, the other guys that was the hole that they were missing. That was what they weren't really hitting upon. And, I would go to the clubs and guys would go, "Oh man, dude, your mixes are the bomb. I love that you play all that freestyle." And so, just knowing that they were like little baby birds and I was feeding them, you know what I mean? I was like, "Hey man, I'm just going to inch over this way and play a little bit more." Like, and it just turned into now I'm just going to do a freestyle mix. And then, and that's how it all kind of fell into place. And it is my passion already too, we were talking to Aldo Marin on my show, and he said that he's an editor at heart. He loves editing, and I kind of get that too. I feel like, if you listen to my show, every song I play, I kind of put my own spin on it.
As a matter of fact, man, sometimes I will listen, and I know for a fact that record doesn't have an acapella. And you, like for example, Marisol's Beginning of the End, I'm like, how did he get the acapella to that? There is no acapella. And you just did it a few days ago with a song that doesn't have an acapella, but for some reason, you have it, or you made it into an acapella. I'm like, how does he do that? And so for years, man, I've been wondering.
Yeah, I'm a sneaky editor. I just edit, I try to I try to figure out how to get that acapella there real quick, or just get the intro to where I want to put it, and that let's just take out some of the garbage in between, or put some garbage in there if it's not long enough, or keep it hype. It's just so strange. Some edits, I think, oh man, why do they talk in the beginning of the song? It's so ridiculous. And then I say, they should really talk in the middle of this. I think the talking part might be kind of work here, or what did I work on recently? Like Sincerely Yours. If you heard the 12-inch with that beautiful, beautiful guitar, you never hear anybody playing the cool guitar in that song, and the rap is in the wrong place. It should be in the middle, not at the very end. Just because my precious love, there's just. And I know we're talking about songs that are over 20 years old, but I know I have issues that go way back, but I feel like they all need to be reheard or re-examined or something.
Well, you did that with Alyssa B featuring Charlie Baby, Legendary, the Tim Spinning 12-inch mix. I'm like, man, that was awesome. And so, the good thing about it is I was playing the radio version, and then when I heard your extended version, I'm like, oh, good, I have a new version to play. And you just moved things around, and it just sounded so unique. You made it into a new song just by moving a few things around.
Moving a few things, doing a little trick, some echoes, and some I used the transposed it down a key, so it was oh no, oh no, oh no. So that was kind of cool, and add some swishes and some big 808 booms in there, and just trick it up a little bit. I like to have in the song, like. People always say, like a one-time event or a part that goes, I love the part that's coming up near the end, or I love this part. I always like to put a piece in there that's, my favorite part. I read this, I don't mean to get off a subject, but I read Nile Rodgers' autobiography, which is a great read, man. You've heard the story about LaFreak when he... with all the guys from Chic were trying to get into Studio 54, and even though he's the greatest dancer and Dance and Yowzy, were the big songs, they couldn't get into the club because they weren't picked. So they went back to the hotel and they wrote the song "Aw F You," or I'm not sure if I can swear, but
it was supposed to be "Fuck You."
Exactly.
That's how, or "Fuck Off," and it was originally
they rearranged it, and just to hear, and that's why I bought the book originally. But then after, there's so much else in the book, which, like, for example, Nile Rodgers was going to the Palladium to meet Jenny Burton. And Jenny Burton was a monster back in the day. And she was killing it at the Palladium. But who he ended up meeting at that night was a woman who just came out with, Everybody was a big record on the radio, and Holiday just came out. And so backstage, he ran into Madonna. And, like I said, Holiday was just on the scene. And then he, which, first of all, is amazing. Like, that's how he met Madonna. And then Madonna said, hey, listen, I'm looking for a producer for my new album. I'd like to meet with you. They met. And then all of a sudden, they're sitting in a, wherever they are with a boombox. And she's playing, the Like a Virgin album. She played Like a Virgin, that everything on that album. And she stops it. She says to Nile Rodgers, she says, hey, man, if I'm going to work with you, you need to love all these songs. And Nile Rodgers looks at her and says, listen, I like the songs, but when I get done, I'm going to love them. So he went on to produce all those songs. But one of the, and I kind of got off subject, but I love that kind of history. And then she went on to produce, she goes, well, I'm going to forget the album that this Holiday thing is on. I'm just going to go with my Like a Virgin and the rest of the songs that were huge. And Nile Rodgers kind of settled it down and said, hey, man, listen, Lucky Star didn't come out yet. Borderline's going to have some legs. This album is you're going to really see a lot of, it's going to be great for you. Just hold out. Can you imagine, laying around on the floor, doing Lucky Star and everything like that, and just knowing that you have like a version in your back pocket ready to come out next year? It's ridiculous to hear how he calmed her down and said, let's let this album breathe, let it, take its course. And I love that. But anyway, that's one of the great stories in the book. But the story, the real thing that I got off subject was, now Roger says you got to have an element of a one-time event in all your songs, something that makes you something that you can kind of hang your hat on, that you can or that kind of thing. It's really important, really. I think like if you listen to any song, you want to be able to say, man, I really like the part when he says, he's just a bastard with the key to my heart.
How did you pick that? That's been
the song. That song is the bomb.
That's been my line. That's been my line. Like, how can just the way he enunciates bastard and it's amazing. Diddle D, the truth. And big shout outs to him. We got to have him on the Freestyle Club soon. But
are you kidding? He's the nicest guy, man. So cool. He's been to the house a couple times at the show, and 3 times I think actually. But and he's one of those guys. He hangs out after the party too. Help you throw the trash out. He's the coolest, down to earth. He's the coolest dude.
I think that I've never been jealous of any concert or any event. But I said this during the Alyssa B episode of the Freestyle Club. But when they threw your party, the Tim Spinning, Shomer, Happy Birthday.
My birthday bash,
the big birthday bash, and Alyssa B came out and she did all the songs. I was so jealous. Willie Valentin was there, Cynthia Figueroa. It was just a star-studded cast of people for your birthday, and I'm like, that is the first time in a long, long time that I'm jealous because I'm not at that concert. That is like the concert that I wanted to be at, your birthday.
Well, I gotta tell you that it was one of those parties that I really. I was so blown away. I'm still blown away but I tell you, I'm a different person after that party too. Because anytime anybody gives me any kind of crap or anything, I just say, "Did you have Soul Sonic Force at your birthday party?" Okay, nice talking to you. I mean, Soul Sonic Force. I mean, Karina was there, but come on, Chrissy Ais was there. Are you kidding me? Dude, that was my birthday present, Chrissy Ais, and I love her. She's my favorite everything, bro. She is the most amazing vocalist. And, Willie Valentin, I've been promising to get him down here in Chicago forever. And when he came, I was just, so happy. And he brought his wife, too. Come on. Then Soul Sonic Force was there. Nice. Eric G, Charlie Baby. And this stuff's off the top of my head. I'm not even looking at the flyer. But today, it's so funny you even bring it up. But today, we're going to start putting it together for next year. So we're excited about that. So
I got to make a plan to be there. And let me just say, I tried that same trick you just tried where you say, Soul Sonic Force is in my birthday. So, whatever. I tried that at my job a few days ago. I said, hey, my podcast is on Spotify now. They're like, get the fuck back to work. And I'm like, all right, guess that didn't work out.
That's so funny. It's like, and that, it's, I know it's all perspective. It's like, hey, man, I'm the prettiest Denny's waitress. Go back to work.
Yeah, get the fuck back to work. Go process it. As a matter of fact, go take out the trash with Diddle D. Go.
Table 7 needs hash browns. Okay. Yeah, exactly. It's fun, man. I'm having a great time doing the show. I never, we just started doing it as a goof. My buddy Eric Claudio, he probably doesn't want me to say his name, but Eric Claudio says, no, he said, dude, you should do like a Facebook thing. You can just set up, and we'll figure out how to do it. And we're just going to go. And I go, I don't know if anybody wanted to see that. He goes, are you kidding me? And I started rocking those funky beats. And that's what we did. We're just kind of, getting it together. I make mistakes every day. And that's the live element of it. You know how it goes. Yes. How long have you been doing your show? You've been doing it for...
I've been the show itself is 30 years on FM radio. There's a gentleman named Jesus the Juice Vasquez who's also on Facebook Live. He's the founder. There would be no freestyle in my area if it wasn't for him. And him and a choice few started a show called Clubhouse Dance Music, and I took it over when he parted ways for Florida. And the show's been on for 30 plus years. I've been on for about 22. So
wow,
yeah, man, it's lovely to have freestyle on FM radio. I've always wanted wanted to know how your inner workings work and how things happen in Chicago. And that's why I had to have you on the podcast, because I want to know your origins. I'm always intrigued on the stories on how people got to their spot. Because, over here, I can tell you all the stories, but I know nothing of Chicago.
Yeah, well, I think I kind of told you how I got into it. I think we had George Lamont on the show last week, and I think it was just because George Lamont's cool shoes, man, and that Without You video with those. I said, man, there's nobody cooler than George Lamont, and if I could just be as cool as partially as cool as George Lamont, I think that would be it. But
I tried to write a song, and all I did was copy the format and lyrics of Battle of the Heart, because I try to sing and I can't. But I use Battle of the Heart, the lyrics and the style of it, and I just changed the words and created my own song. But it was Battle of the Heart. So, because to us, George Lamont is always and will always be the king of our freestyle music, and he's the most celebrated artist in our genre, in my opinion, in this area. But,
and he's a down to earth guy, man. He's so real. He's so cool. And the best was, there was that time when freestyle was kind of house music and freestyle were kind of edging each other out. We not edging each other out, but I was at the Winter Music Conference, and I was walking down the hall with George, and somebody goes, "Hey, freestyle boy," and George Churchill says, "Kiss my ass," and he kept walking. I was like nothing, it was like, go ahead, man, go ahead. Yeah. He's just so real, It's like, what else are you gonna say? I probably would have just, ignored him, but George was like, "Hey, man, I'm from New York. That's how it goes down."
George Lamont is humble. He's a nice guy, but tell him that you don't have his money after he performed or before he performs. Believe you me, the Latino New Yorican is going to come out of him really quick.
Yeah, hey man, I'm with you too. I've done a lot of gigs and they pull the old "Hey, listen." I'm going, "Hey, listen." I used to have got this guy who's giant. We used to call him Taco. He was huge. He looked like the guy from James Bond, Odd Job.
Yeah,
he was like a big giant spark plug. I mean, it was huge, and I'd go, "Hey man, take care of my guy. He'd give me the high sign, and we're good." And, good cop, bad cop. And he'd pull the old, "Listen, here's the thing. If Tim doesn't get paid, I don't get paid. And guess what? I'm getting paid. I'll drive you to the ATM." Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, isn't that crazy how people, especially nowadays, they try to put shows together, but they don't have the money, and they think that because they posted it on social media like Facebook or whatever the case may be, that people are going to just show up, and then the night comes and there's no one there but his parents, and they're like,
"Yeah,
I don't know what to do," And I was like, "Well, you just booked a $10,000 show. We need to go to the ATM," And
exactly right.
He's trying to find change at the bottom of the seat, He's trying to call a bunch of favors. I'm like, "We're not leaving." And you start taking equipment that he owns.
Yeah, I had this guy go, "Hey, but man, come on, it's my birthday. I thought you were not going to do. You didn't get me anything for my birthday. I'm going to break off a couple $100 for you." No, man.
I had a woman get possessed by the devil. One of the house parties that I did, to the point that she scared the shit out of me so much, and everybody in there, that everybody left. I didn't get my equipment for 3 days.
Oh man!
And I was contemplating not going back to go get it, because it was an exorcism in a party. It was like the weirdest shit I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, everyone wants to give you curses, and
I'm thinking, this hasn't paid me. I think that's the reason why she's doing this shit. Because she hasn't paid me.
You went back with an old priest and a young priest.
Believe you me, she ended up paying me. I came back with a cross and some holy water. She gave me that money.
It should all be worked out before you get there. That's my lesson learned. I'll take the deposit, and I'm starting to think that getting paid in advance is the way to go too with some of these gigs, especially if you haven't worked with the people before. I mean that's all business. I don't know if your listeners care about that, but it's what's the Furious 5 song, "Ain't got no money, we ain't got no beat." There you go.
Absolutely, especially now that it's so easy for you to pay someone. They have Venmo, they have PayPal. There's no excuse now. I got to go to the ATM. You already have the ATM on your phone, sir.
Right.
Here's my email.
Yeah, it's scary. But
So Tim, yeah, you have a show on Facebook every Sunday night.
yeah, I'm doing Sundays, and I pop on every Thursday too, every once in a while, because I think when I mix them on Sunday, but on Thursday I'd like to. I just thought this might be kind of a cool idea to be able to talk about the songs and say, hey, this is the new song from this guy who I'm really impressed with, Robert Bartko. What a talent the guy is. I mean, I think in his spare time, this isn't. I can't document this, but I know he does George Michael's impersonations, and he plays guitar. He's a musician, and that song, Robert Bartko, I think is, man, we're really going to hear a lot of good things from him. Jay Mazer, man, are you kidding me? It's on repeat. It just gets me it kind of gets me juiced up that Jose, like we got this thing going, and there's little communities, but talking earlier about the negativity, man, we don't need that. I love the fact that like we can have a conversation. We're all fighting the same battle, man, and it's not just about freestyle. It's about love. This music is love music, man, and I really believe in my heart that that's what dance music's about too, man. It's all about the celebration of life, and without getting too deep, but just hey, man, I'm gonna do me, you do you. There's enough for everybody, man.
I just want to promote new quality freestyle, just like you. I want that. I want that more than anything. But I also want to be respected for my opinion. It isn't like I just came out of nowhere and I started doing this. I've been doing this. I was 17 years old.
Right. Right. We all have.
This is all I know. Freestyle is all I know. I don't listen to anything else. I sit and I listen to bad stuff all day, trying to figure out a way to complement it and promote it, and I just want that trust from the audience. And I do have it for most part, just like they do with you.
And I'm like I said, I'm a Billboard dance promoter and a radio mixer. Believe me, I've probably heard more records. I've probably thrown away more records than more people will ever hear in their life. And talk about listening to a lot of music. But there's a way. I think there's when I interviewed KRS-One, which this turned my life around, man. Just this one statement that he made. We asked him about what's his opinion about hip house against hip hop, and he said, he goes, you know what? We all listen to a lot of music, and we all judge a lot of music, and it's sometimes beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But for me, he goes, hip house is not my tempo, but everything is cool for about 30 seconds. And then you say, my cup of tea, not my cup of tea, But, everybody's, I mean, if you and I sat down and made a record, we would think it would be the bomb. We'd be in the studio, be in our cassette deck or CD player or in our phones or whatever, however we take music in, and we listen to it over and over and over and over and over, nitpick it over and over and over, and we'd say, this is the bomb, let's give it out, and somebody might not like it. And all of a sudden it's like, well, hey, you can't win them all. You just got to keep going to the drawing board. And believe me.
But one thing that I will say is I respect your opinion. So you're saying that on that compilation, Freestyle Music Volume 1, that Jay Mazer to you is a good song. So what I'm going to do, because I've listened to the song before, is I'm going to take a listen to it over and over again for the next few days, and I'm going to try to find what you found in the song. Okay. And I want to see if I can be inspired to now promote this song because you feel so strongly about it.
Yeah.
And so And that's all I ever wanted in my community. It's like, Tim thinks this song is great. I have to go ahead and pull the songs out and listen to them, and
But at the same time, I also wear women's underwear, so what do I know? I don't know a lot of other things, so,
those are called underoos.
Underoos, exactly. The Superman.
My issue with the song is it's not the person, it's not the lyrics. To me, it's the Planet Rock beat over and over and over. That, to me, is the issue.
Do you find any issues with the Planet Rock beat?
Nah, I was never a huge fan of it. It's not. I'm more of a hype. If you're rocking in the club, I want to, create some energy. I'm more of a law guy, or so far away. But I love that song. There's some songs that are more in your face, but
hip hop beats in the middle of freestyle songs. That's freestyle to me. Vicente Melendez with that Together Forever beat that's so far away with those hard rolls and the drum and just all that music, and then like JD comes in with her voice, and you think that the beats are powerful, but then her voice hits you, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that stuff. And, but then, and again, the Planet Rock stuff, it works too. It really does. I mean, where would you be with, Miguel Reyes has got, where would you be without the Raquel records? I mean, there's Little Susie. There's so many great Planet Rock based songs. It's hard to, this is what I do when I'm playing. I'm not giving away my trade secrets, but you group the stuff together. Depends on where you're working. You're at, hey man, I'm going to play some stuff with the Carlos Barrios beat. I work that set, and then I get faster. Then we go with the hard cutting records beats. With it's more New York electronic. I try to keep those grouped together. Then I'm going to work that Planet Rock angle, and then I'm going to, bring it down.
The Planet Rock angle.
Work that Planet Rock, because it's not always just a boom, 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 boom. It's not always that. Sometimes there's some variations of it. When you hear those samples, we use those. Julio Meta used a sample in that Intoxicator record. I love that record.
I love the video.
To be honest with you, it keeps popping up, and I hope Julio's not watching because I haven't seen the video yet. But I really haven't taken.
Oh, the video is great, man!
To watch it. Is it the
bomb? It starts off like
I see him walking up the stairs, and that's all the further I've gotten. So
yeah, it starts off don't have the kids around when you watch it, but like it starts off as The Purge, and the woman hits the guy in the back of the head with a tire iron. It's awesome.
So okay, it's a love story. Gotcha. It's all about the freestyle. Yeah. But yeah,
I don't have a problem. Cool. I don't have a problem with the variation. Like I understand there's a rendition of the Planet Rock in a lot of the things that we hear, but the blatant Planet Rock beat, that boom, boom, boom. If you just use that and you just put vocals over it, I just feel it's so lazy. I just don't know, man. Like
but you know what? But by saying though, it just seems like you're taking that whole element of like I don't like that because he played a guitar in it. I don't like that because I don't like disco music because it's just a boom, 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 the 4/4 time. It seems like you're throwing out a whole genre of music or a whole style of music because you don't like the rhythm.
It's the Tony, because everybody's using the Tony Dr. Eddie Garcia kit. And so because of that, because I know what he did with the Planet Rock beat, like he bastardized it, you know what I mean? Here we are in 2018 and it's being done all over again. And so it's like, come on, there's other ways to introduce our music other than this beat.
I get you. What about the Buffy record? Would you call that a Planet Rock?
Yeah. Buffy, give me a reason.
Is that Planet Rock?
It's a rendition of it. It does.
Yeah.
It's not blatantly going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not doing that. It just dun 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 dun. It just dun 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 dun. You know what I mean? It's like I love it. It's a rendition of it. It's so funny. It's a modern rendition of it. But the blatant sample.
Yeah, the
is
rip-off.
What bothers me. Yeah, the rip-off. I have a song right now. I'm going to send it to you if you don't have it. It's AP3, Audio Playground. They're from Canada. They're on Sony. And Joey, Intonation Joey, he did a remix for them because there's like 13 different versions of the song. And it's called Just the Same. And they use a Planet Rock beat. But for some reason, it works for the song, And so there are exceptions. And I always make one or two a year. But I can't make 18,
Right. But what about the Running remix, Redux?
Amazing, but I don't think of the Planet Rock beat when I listen to that song. Okay. I think of Carlos Barrios, a masterpiece. Yeah. Is there a rendition of the Planet Rock beat in that song? Yes, but it's not the blatant. The blatant is the issue. The blatant is the problem.
I understand.
Right? I think that some producers are using the Planet Rock beat to get over on the audience. Whereas with Carlos, that Redux had some surprises in it, right?
Yeah,
and if you haven't heard it by now, spoiler alert, it has George Lamont, TKA, and C-Bank, right?
Yeah, so, it's amazing. Yeah,
they're not using the Planet Rock beat to get over on people. They've got their own. The song has its own surprises, not to mention the hand-cut razor edits.
Drop the beat.
so many elements to that one track.
And that's a remix, so it really it's a homage to the original too. So I just wondered, the rhythm. I wonder if you had a problem with it. But yeah, you're right. It's what a masterpiece, and it sounds so good, man.
That's the number one song in freestyle right now, hands down. Period. There's for the last 6 weeks, that's the song that everyone is talking about. And, that's the song that everybody's been purchasing and sharing, and it's just been a whirlwind for our music. So I don't have an issue with it because of how it's featured and how it was put together. I just have an issue with the blatancy of using the Planet Rock.
Subscribe to the Freestyle Club podcast, theunknownadmin.com, and cprsmusic.com.
You have broken many of records over the years. I'm mixing freestyle. Many of records. I mean, every CD that I listen to, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that song was out.
Yeah.
Well, he still has a bunch of stuff that he hasn't released yet. The Alyssa B stuff.
In 2006, we were just talking back and forth. It's probably on MySpace even. I don't even know. But and she says, I've got this song that I've done, and I heard the lyrics. I'm like, oh my God. And so then I've been like, I started, every time somebody talks about writing a song or we get a song, I always say, hey, this Alyssa B song is a monster. It's such a great, it's a beautiful song.
Alyssa B.
She's such
I love her. She is my favorite. I just love her. I adore her. I can't say more good things about her. She is my favorite. She's legendary. I thank you, Chicago. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can say that I haven't said already about her too. She's amazing. She's such a great songwriter. The nicest person too. She's just soft spoken, and I love her.
Really genuine. When you speak to her, she means every word she says.
Absolutely. She's very soft spoken. And she's written so many hits. I mean, I don't remember the song Latin Lover. That was her first record. She was the fourth member of the Freestyle Club, and we got to feature some of the things that she's done. And
okay,
you know all about her then. Yeah,
it was a great episode, and it was a great experience in learning. And again, if we want to talk about Chicago, this is the reason why we have you on, because I want to know about Chicago, the freestyle scene. I asked Alyssa when she was on our show if you guys are together now more than ever, and has it been that unity in Chicago? I always feel like looking at you guys from my area, like my area is full of wars, and your area is full of peace and love and togetherness, because that's the way that you guys show Chicago to be when it comes to the freestyle scene.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I mean, the problem is Elisa lives just over the border, like 3 hours away, 2 hours away. So we don't get a chance to see her very often, but hey, man, every time we she feels like she's right there. Her and Charlie work together very closely, but I think it's she's got a studio. She can email. The technology and what's happening right now is easy. She can just Charlie will send her a track and she'll do vocals and she'll send it back to him back and forth, and which is really cool. Even with the Tell Me record that they did.
What an amazing introduction.
Yeah, exactly. She goes, hey, I got this song. Do you think Charlie would? And I go, yes, I'll text him now. I spoke for him, Charlie, Lisa wants you. And he goes, absolutely. And it was like she wasn't sure because she hadn't worked with him since, the SOS days. And I feel I forget. I sometimes forget that I brought them together, and I feel like I didn't really bring them together. They were always friends, but there's so much and I forget stories. People say, hey, if it wasn't for you, we, Rhythm Centric wouldn't have happened. Or if it wasn't for you, I did the mixes on the Joel record, The Prisoner of Love, with J.J. Flores. And I did...
love those songs. I mean, that's my high school days right there.
We did... I was blessed. JJ let me in the studio, and we messed around with "Girls Do It for Fun" by Legacy. And
can I just say before you continue, I know the whole entire rap. I can do the entire rap,
I can't. Go ahead, hit it.
No, we busting for the scene like a wrecking crew, but we watching for the girls and what they do.
I'm trying to play a role, but she must know that we are not the ones. Hate it when a honey try to play her just for fun. Quicker and swifter, we're getting much more every day. If we see her front and we say, don't play that way. So take consideration and save her devastation. No blow to the heart, don't want to part, it's just for fun.
That was my high school years. That's how I was introduced to freestyle. I tried to mimic the radio show that I host now by hosting a radio show similar to it on my high school radio station. And they didn't have like professional equipment. They had show and tell 45-inch record players with the tops on them, you know. But I used to try to play freestyle on them, and I would play those songs, Desire and Forever More, Games of Love, and Joel, Prisoner of Love, and all these different labels from Chicago. I was so inspired by. If you made a lot of those things happen, thank you.
Like, did you hear the Law story? It's a story about Law and how that came to be. I lived above this restaurant. It wasn't my. It wasn't a nice restaurant even. It was a little restaurant, and right on Racine and Van Buren, which isn't in a really great neighborhood either. But so I lived there because it was closer to the radio station, and I had a roommate. And these stairs that went up to this place looked like the Munster stairs. They were huge, and the top of the stairs to the right was the right you went somewhere, I don't know, with like other apartments, and then to the left right there was my apartment. So I'm coming home, we're carrying groceries up, and somebody, there's a reel-to-reel, like a little mini reel-to-reel leaning against my door. It says Brett Walker Law with a phone number. That's all it said. And I should find that and take a picture of it and put it on Facebook or something. And this is where it all began. So I go, how did they get this high security place? I mean, it wasn't high security at all. It was a piece of, it was not my finest living arrangements. But so I instantly grabbed this, grabbed the tape, and I put it, threaded it through the reel-to-reel machine, and I heard it, and I go, oh my God, smash, whoa, right from the get, man. It was like, are you kidding me? And like I said, I've heard so many terrible, terrible records, man. I've thrown away more records than most people will ever hear in their lifetime. And to hear this record, I was like, oh, my God. I instantly called Brett Walker, and I said, do you realize what you have here? It was just a demo, too. So I started, I called Cutting, I called Mick Mac, I called Metropolitan, I called, everybody who had a record label who I thought would, really love to take advantage of this. And they kind of slept on it. I just try to, get people excited about it. And then they went back and they re-recorded it. And they go, here you go. What do you think? And I go, I listened to it again, and it didn't have the same passion. Julio's voice makes me cry, because you feel like you're in it.
Yes.
And I heard it again, and I go, what is this? Wait. Before you put, this is not the record that I've been selling. You know what I mean? This is not what I've been, go back in there. So they rebooked studio time. Right now, so they got picked up by Strictly Hype in Chicago. And I think he wanted just to stay close and local, so he can kind of keep an eye on what was happening. But so he went back, and I was in the studio with him, and I go, dude, make me cry. And one other change that they made in the song was, won't you give me one more try? Before it was, won't you give me one more try, was couldn't you gave me? Couldn't you gave me one more try? I go, hey man, no, don't say couldn't you gave me.
Couldn't you gave me?
Couldn't you gave me one? Couldn't you gave me? I go, no, let's work that out. And,
a lot of those Chicago songs, they have some enunciated words. I remember In Your Eyes, you got me hypnotized.
Change a couple of words around. Do you got writer's rights there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I was there. Yeah, I should have got some writer credit, but they let me edit the radio mix, and but we got it. The end was the record that which was one of my all-time favorite songs. Not just because I had anything to do with it, but I mean, first of all, Julio and Jerry from Law are two of the coolest dudes, and man, if you almost got to wear an extra pair of pants because Julio make you laugh because he's so funny. Anyway.
Let me ask you: do you think that Love and Wisdom was the greatest freestyle group to ever come out of Chicago?
Yeah, I'm going to say go on a limb until you mention somebody else, and then I'll say yeah.
Well, of course, that there's Desire, but I never heard a group like Love and Wisdom until I got those 12-inch records, Missing Your Love and One More Chance. For me, is the reaction of the audience once they listen to something and they make it their own. Once you play a record and the audience automatically is calling you the next day or a half an hour later and saying, who's that? And can you play it again so I can record it on my cassette deck? You have arrived. And that's what happened with Love and Wisdom. I think that they were so celebrated here by everyone. And this area had like a half a dozen freestyle shows on a weekly basis on FM and AM radio. And they used to play them religiously. And I know there was a few times where people tried to reach out and grab them and try to bring them here. I'm not sure if they were ever successful, but we always had this legend of Love and Wisdom, the group Law. Of course, a lot of rumor, innuendo, and a lot of stories. But are there? What can you tell us? Tell us a good story about Love and Wisdom.
Well, first of all, I mean, the second record they did was "Remember the Time," was produced by DJ Tragic.
Remember the nights we used to share. I grew to you, girl, my tender love and care. Oh, girl, you said just to love me.
There's so many freestyle records that are out, but that Remember the Times, that track, ridiculous. It was so it was like freestyle. It was like freestyle plus. You know what I mean? It was like
freestyle that belonged on commercial radio.
Yeah, it was so great. And then the house mix of that too on the B side with the, it was ridiculous too. And if your listeners don't know what I'm talking about, get out of the house and try to track that record down, because the house mix by DJ Tragic is sick too. I mean, you can play either side and people are going to lose their minds.
All right, Tragic, take over. Okay, go. Why are we in so much pain?
That's one thing that I can appreciate from your area, is that you guys really spent your time making up these versions. They had, you guys had a hip house version, freestyle version, you had a house version, a cappella, centapella. Like, you really mimicked some of the things that they did in the East Coast. But sometimes you guys did it better.
Yeah, with the acapellas too. The acapellas kind of followed me around because I would keep on asking all the labels, "Hey, can I get an acapella of that? Hey, can I get an acapella of that?" That was my. Sometimes if you don't like the production, you can kind of like. Well, I don't want to say their name, but New Image. Tony G and New Image. I mean, they got a lot of great songs. I personally, the Tears in My Eyes. I was not a fan of the production, but I took that record and I played the hell out of that acapella, and so until it became, like almost an anthem in Chicago.
Yeah, and especially when you added a new beat to it, people are like, "Yeah, I want that version," and they try to cut out the version that you did on your mixes and try to play those. And I've caught a few DJs in this area try to pass it as their own. It's kind of funny though, because they'll be like, "Your drop is about to happen," so it's like, "Tim."
Yeah.
Then they edit
I love it. Well, that's cool. I mean, people are paying attention, man. It's like I said, it's the Superman thing, It's like, or where the drops are. It's like, hey, man, it's working. I'll tell you one thing. The first time I used that, my Tim spinning Shomer drop.
Love it.
It was so funny. I had my buddy, my best friend Rusty. His daughter was 6 years old, and I thought, I think I'm gonna get a kid. If I could just get a kid to come and say that would be great. And back then I was using reel-to-reel to punch my drops in. Mm-hmm. And so I needed her to say it on beat. So I said, "Can you just say Tim Spinnin' Shomer?" Just like that. And she goes, "Tim Spinnin' Shomer!" And she's laughing at me. So she's basically messing with me. And I go, no. And then, I mean, if you listen to the original tape, you can hear me saying, no. I like this. And, I was trying to calm her down to get her to do it. And, of course, the only one I used was, Anyway, that's my drop story. She's 36 now or something like that. And she's got, her kids are older.
I can remember a lot of the drops, like George Lamont did a drop for you. Joel. Hi, this is Joel. And you're listening to Heartbeats. Tim Spinning Shomer, so that's...
hey, this is Joel.
Yeah. Or The Prisoner of Loved One. Love will be a prisoner
I will be a prisoner of a love. Yo, this is Joel, and I'm in the mix with Tim Spinning Shomer, Heartbeats number 2. Check this out.
Yeah, he's the best, man. Joel's, he's got a real job now. He's like, he's working in politics and stuff. He's doing very well. The other day I was...
Tell him to bring freestyle back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's got a new song. I don't know if you've heard his new song. He's got a few new things that he's working on. He's got, the other day it was in East Chicago, and by the other day, I mean probably last year. But I was driving by this billboard, and I go, oh my God, that looks just like... And it was. He was running for something in East Chicago, but
he had a hat. He goes, "We're gonna make freestyle great again."
Yeah, exactly. That was the slogan.
This is the Freestyle Club.
Who do you like now? What freestyle artists do you like now? What songs have really stuck out for you in 2018?
Well, right away, Diddle.
I am the truth.
Diddle D for 2019. I hope there's new Diddle D's coming. Giant Julio Mena fan and supporter. Julio Mena. Love him. I think what he's doing is amazing. Robert Barco, I think, is the guy to watch too. He's really a great talent. He sounds just like George Michaels. I mean, that's what he does in his off time.
Every time I see him, though, I remember Viva Vendetta.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I think those are the ones that I can think of that I'm excited about.
For me, I gotta thank you again for Alyssa B's Legendary. I think that that song is jam. That is like the jam. I've never had a united front of people want a song so bad.
Cool. Have you played her other one too?
I'm still waiting for Memories of Love. That's what.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Ralph
Memories
and
of Love. Yeah.
I never got it. Ralph, did you get it?
No, I've been waiting. I contact her every couple of weeks and ask, how's it coming? And she says, it's still coming.
Yeah, I think they were looking to sign it somewhere, but it is on my Heartbeats, my CD, so when you get it, Ralph, you can just cut it out there. But we just cut it out. Just cut it out before my drop hits, okay?
I'll leave the Tim part in.
Yeah, he's like, Tim.
Ah, my little darling, it is love at first sight, is it not? No? Do not come with me to the Casbah. We shall make beautiful music together right here.
Get up and dance!
Talk to me about the Heartbeat series, because those are the way that I was introduced to you. I remember the cassette versions, because what would happen is that Willie Valentin would go to Chicago and he would get these mixes. And so he got like Alan Bad Mix Boyd and David the Bomb and there were some other people.
Oh my God.
Some other people that I got mixes from. But I remember listening to you and your songs, the way you put them together, and your mixes, the way you put them together, you will always tell a story. And so,
yeah, I got issues, man. I used to spend so much time making those tapes.
No, man, those are masterpieces.
Thank you.
Because of the fact that you have Pepe Le Pew in the beginning, and it was just a great mix. And again, I could do those back to back. I could sing those back to back. Because
I dream a genie. She's light the brown hair. Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Yeah, those were great. The first couple were on reel to reel. Those were still, cut and paste or cut and tape. Those are fun.
What was the reaction? What was the reaction to those mixes? I mean, you made 5 of them, so they must have been great.
Yeah, great. They were awesome. They're always like the words Elisa B. They're legendary. They're all amazing. When I hear them too, I go, "Oh man, that's just cool. I wonder how I did that." And you could tell as the technology changed, so did the mixes. You could tell that the sound quality changed, and you can also hear You know, I was using different loops and stuff, later on in the other tapes. Always just fun. I don't know why I didn't do more. I think it was because I was afraid I was going to get busted by, for using other people's mixes or music, and I didn't want to, get people mad at me or something. I didn't want the artist to be upset for some reason.
Here's the thing. If it wasn't for you, many of those people would have never been heard. So
right.
It's something that Raphael has discussed previously on our podcast, that people used to get upset when DJs would use the songs of these artists, but they sat at home doing nothing. We didn't have the technology back then that we have now, so how else were we supposed to distribute the music?
Right. And you know what is crazy is, like, where else are you going to hear Anne-Marie, Just Waiting for You? First of all, that is one of my favorite jams in the world,
Yes, and the way you mix it in, by the way, is
oh my God, it's like, and there's so many other songs that just the pieces. And I mean, I can't imagine this whole Facebook thing and how they're busting me out, and every single time, every half hour if I play something like a hit or something.
Right.
It's so frustrating for me. That's why I've been kind of lately just hanging under the radar, and playing some new stuff, some more smaller label stuff that I'm not going to get busted on. But because I want to keep doing this. I'm having so much fun doing it, but I wish I could just open up and play exactly what I want to play instead of thinking.
Yeah, all you have to do is you got to put together the Tim Spinning Shomer podcast.
Well, what's going on with that? Why haven't you done the Tim Spinning Shomer podcast?
We should probably talk about that. I don't know. I really haven't. I don't know. I can. Can I do that?
Absolutely, yeah. Great. Yes, yeah. We would love for you to join us.
We should talk about that for sure. I'd love to be a part of it. I think I just
Raphael and I are on Spotify. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, you told. I did.
Watch, Ralph is going to text me. Get the fuck back to work.
There you go. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Actually, I should be doing it because. Yeah, why not? I mean, I got so much.
You have a lot of content, and you have a lot of things that people actually want to hear. So
exactly.
So why not? Why not do a Tim Spinning Shomer podcast?
You know what's crazy? I think I'm. Just when I think I'm like, dude, I've lost my mind. I tell my wife, I think I'm losing my mind, and she goes, "Why?" I go, "Because I'm editing Make Noise by the first one. I'm like, why? Why am I doing this? I don't know if anybody's going to care about this, but
we definitely care, and we're paying attention. Believe me.
Exactly. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to talk to me, because I feel like why am I editing this? Why do I really need a cooler version of let's see, I'm pulling this record up right now. My Broken Heart by DTU featuring Pure Pleasure. I think the world
not really that one, but
that's just a record on top of my pile of things to do, man.
Yeah. It's like My Broken Heart was one of my first 12-inch records that I purchased. Those are those underground labels that came out of nowhere, and had a few releases here and there before Tasmania came back. Do you credit Tasmania for bringing freestyle back for a long period of time?
Do I credit them?
Okay, great.
No.
Thank you. Good night.
Do I credit them? I don't know. I mean, I appreciate all they've done. Tasmania is I've always, I think they're great. I love all their music. I don't know if I credit them for bringing it back. Let's just talk about who's really kept this music alive. I mean, you've kept it alive. People like Willie Valentin. Without Willie Valentin, I think the genre would have went away a long time ago.
Yeah, and what a combination you guys made when you did the Artistik Mega Mix. I mean, that to me was another mix that for me it was excellent and legendary.
Thank you. You know what? I was just happy to do it. Willie had so much great content. And for my money, Willie is one of the coolest dudes ever, man. And what a talent. And Cynthia's voice, are you kidding me? What a great team they make. And I was so blessed to have met my, and I never say that. I never say blessed, but I'm so, but it's true. I'm so blessed to have met my birthday party, man. And, my birthday's coming up, man. I hope they're going to be able to come around again. I got to make that call, find out if they can make it. Let me ask you, Naija was there too. What a DJ Paradise and Naija. What a great team. Love them. So what's your? You had
dream? Joy May there, right?
Joy May, yeah. She came as C-Bank, and she never sings the Joy May songs. But I said, hey, she goes, she even said it to me. She goes, just so you know, I don't usually sing these songs, but for you, I'll do anything you want.
Wow.
So she's the best.
I love her.
She's so cool. She just booked up. She said, Tim, I booked a plane. I'm going to be down there we're going to be hanging out. I'm coming to your house. She doesn't have a
Nice.
show. She's just coming over for the show.
Amazing.
So I'm so excited. So, man, when I say I don't say blessed, I am blessed, man. I really am. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm looking at the poster now, but, Karina, Asia, the great Chris Yais, Eric G, my boy Eric G was there, Rudy Fausto, Miguel Reyes. Man, what a great team.
There was that Miguel Reyes song on your Freestyle Boom, the first time. And it was the most envied song for a long time because nobody can get that except you.
That made everybody crazy and I'll tell you what happened, because I was making this CD and JJ Flores and I had, and that was a song by Elisa B too, by the way. I think it feels like the first time. Did she write that?
Miguel wrote that, and Miguel wrote that for Stephanie Bennett or Samantha, and then Tasmania closed down. So he did it for himself. He wanted to write it for himself, and he presented.
I'm thinking of Angelina. Angelina is what I think is the song that Lisa B wrote.
Angelina, the one she wrote for Julio.
Yeah, exactly right. So we did this song, JJ Flores and I. Feels like the first time, and we only needed a verse because I was gonna just, I'm doing a mix, I'm gonna slam some, get as many songs in the CD as I can, and there you go. So it was on the Mixmaster Throwdown Volume 6, I think that was the one it was on, and all the other DJs from B96 were on the thing, and so I only had 15 minutes to fill or 20 minutes to fill, and so that was the song that made it on there, and it was that, and there was another song on that CD or in that mix by, it was called I Can't Stand the Rain by Lucretia, I think her name was, or Lucia, and everybody hated me because nobody could buy it. That and Angelina, those three songs. I can't find it anywhere. It's only on one mix.
And if you have a test press or acetate or anything that has to do with a cassette or whatever, I'm sure that there'll be some internet nerd that wants to give you $1,000 for it.
Sure, yeah. I think it was only on DAT, and so I think I had to mix backwards on it, so I couldn't speed it up or slow it down. I think I had to do some sneaky editing, mix it in and mix it out with the, use the outro to mix in because there was no.
Yeah, but so for a long time you were very much resented, not only in Chicago but in New England, because we wanted the Miguel Reyes song, and we got it in 2018.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I know, so
21 years later, we got it, and
yeah,
it's kind of crazy how music happens in this genre.
And it still sounds good though. I thought they did a really good job with that.
So
Sal Medina.
Having broken so many records, is there a process? Do you play everything by anyone, or are you more selective?
First of all, I gotta like the record, and then I get that's just the the process. The process is, oh my God, I love this record. I love it so much. I can't look at it. I'm talking about it. The hairs on my arm are sticking up. I gotta share this with everybody I know, and then I start calling people and I say, oh my God, have you heard this record? Dude, this Diddle D record is the bomb. And my friends are all the same. My buddy JV Kid, is the same way. Like, we'll talk about, he goes, dude, have you heard the new JD record? Dude, that's pretty nice. I like that. Or have you heard the new, whatever it is that he's talking about? Like he'll play he does mixes all the time too. Like the Pose record. Have you heard the new Pose record? Oh my God, with Cynthia Figueroa, it's great. I don't know what that one is. So I've got a good, and plus I listen to your show too. The only countdown that matters. And
don't say that too loud, because you might get people. You might have people. Don't say that too loud. People might get upset with you, sir.
No, I don't want any trouble, but you know what I mean. I mean, you just go digging for songs, and the songs that make the hairs on your arm stick up are the ones that you keep, and some records that that people get mad at you. Hey, how come you're so mean? Why didn't you play my song? Or and you say, hey, listen, sometimes it's just not for me, and believe me.
Listen, I want to say this: all freestyle is for me. It just has to be good.
There you go. Like, some people want rap in the raps in their, want to put raps in there, and if I don't like if I don't like it, what do you get? Sometimes I'll chop it out. It's like I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to make it a version that I can play that I'm gonna be able to stand behind. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with that, and so does Jose. But the reason I asked the question is that there's this misconception with some people out there that a DJ's job is just to put the music out there and let the people decide. And I say, no, listen, first I've got to feel it, and then I share it. If I'm not feeling it, if I don't think it's good, if it doesn't meet my standard, I'm not playing it. Now, every DJ has his own standard.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly right.
But if I'm not feeling it, I'm not playing it. And we get so much heat. And the words start flying. Hater, this, that, the other. No, it's not that I hate you. I don't even know you. Why would I hate you, first of all? It's not that I want you to succeed. It's just it doesn't meet my standard. And I want people to understand that it's just not me or Jose or whoever. This is across the board with most DJs.
It's a DJ thing. Otherwise it'd be I'm going to play some crap, and you tell me what you like. And then it's like, all he does is play crap. I don't, It's like when you go to the record pool or you go, wherever you get your music, and you got to wade through the garbage before you find something you like. I mean, and like KRS-One says, it's 30 seconds is cool for everything, but then all of a sudden you say, it's not for me. It's for me. This is not my cup of tea. Listen to those vocals, hey, listen, freestyle's known for, sadly known for, less than perfect vocals, which is kind of cool sometimes. Like, for example, I'm just going to say her name, and I hope she doesn't get mad, but no, Sarah. All right. Summertime. Quirky vocals, but it totally works. You know what I mean? I get that record. Summertime. Take me. I love that record. The quirky vocals, sometimes they don't, that was sometimes the flaws are the beauty. You know what I mean? And if you can pull that off, hey, man, the problem is, that's where the problem lays. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my issue with a lot of the new school artists, and they come really happy and really joyful, really respectful, and they give me their track. Then they make the mistake of asking me, what do you think? And I'm like, do you really want to know what I think? And then I tell them what I think, and then they hate me.
Well, sometimes you can be more tactful. You just gotta say, well, hey, listen, for me, not my cup of tea. And like when you're firing somebody, you don't want to go into why you're firing them. You just gotta say, listen, I gotta let you go. Like a bandit, you gotta rip it off.
I am. Tim, I am tactful.
Yeah.
I tell them the song sucks.
That's a 10-year project for Jose. It's not that.
But I mean, there's things that you say. Listen, if I was you,
have people wait? Have people been complaining to you about me?
No, not at all. I mean, but I read your posts. I know, and I see your posts. I go, holy crap! I don't think I can get away with saying that. But
yes, you can.
I know. There's no way in a billion years I will ever answer some of those questions you put up on Facebook. And there's not. I'm not that guy. I'm not looking for fights. I'm not that guy.
I'm not looking for fights either.
You're the Clark Kent and Jose's the Lex Luthor freestyle.
Yeah, man. Speak only the good. That's what I say. Speak only the good, of your friends, and if if they're looking for some constructive criticism, you say, listen, I'm not a big fan of the Planet Rock thing. You can just tell them that. First of all, you might want to talk to this person about maybe vocal lessons, or hey, I like the song, or I like the production. That you always find, if you can find something nice to say about the song. Hey, man, the production's the bomb. Just not. I don't know if the vocals are really for me. I mean. And sometimes, like you said, with the Osera record, it's about the delivery. It's sometimes about the performance. Maybe the performance isn't really your cup of tea. You can say you sound too screamy in this song. You sound, if you just take a deep breath. So
I'm gonna call Diddle D. I'm like, hey man, I love the way you say bastard.
Yeah, I love the way you say bastard.
But let me ask you a question, Diddle. Is that your sister, your cousin? Who is the girl? Who is the girl, Diddle? Tell me.
But he's the man. He's a superstar in my book. Just as a person too. He's a cool dude, and I pray his next record is good.
So do I.
And that's one thing too that people, a lot of artists say, "Hey, thank you so much for supporting my record." And I always say, and you can ask anybody, I say, "Hey, if I didn't like your record, we wouldn't be having this conversation."
Excellent.
And that's really the bottom line. You know what I mean? If I don't like it, I'll tell you I don't like it. I've made some, and I'm not going to say her name, but there's people that I think the world of. But I'm like, oh my God. And I get so excited with, oh cool, she's got a new record out. And then I hear the record, I go, oh no. I gotta tell her again. I don't like this song. You know, it's like, oh my God.
Well, at least you don't do it on Facebook Live, and in
Yeah,
front of
no.
1,000 people.
And I would never ever, because I wouldn't throw out there like that. But there's, I get, and I know she tries so hard, and she's so nice, and so her show is great. Anyway, I'm not gonna say her name, but
wow.
Anyway,
let me take some notes here. He said there's
no. I would never. I mean, and I mean, anybody else that tried this hard in the business should be a superstar. But it's just it comes down to the one simple thing. It's the song. It's the song or the voice or something's just not clicking. It just doesn't. It's not
God-given
right.
Planet Rock beat. Damn it! Stop it!
Yeah, exactly. Carlos, what are you doing to my tape? Stop it!
Subscribe to the Freestyle Club. On Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Stitcher. The Freestyle Club. The Freestyle Club. Let's talk freestyle.
So tell me about the new version of Heartbeats, the new mixes that you are putting out right now.
Well, basically, it's mostly new stuff, a little bit of old little classics. My wife said, dude, what are you waiting for? Put out another Heartbeats. And I don't think I could do another Heartbeats, but why don't we just, we'll start another series. We'll just put these out, and we'll see how they go. And so far, so good. I think this one's, being received well. I think people are hungry. You know what I mean? Like baby birds. They're just, feed me.
Sure.
They want to get, they want to get some new freestyle in, and I'm so happy to bring, some of the new stuff that, do you really need to hear Change on Me again and another freestyle mix? I'll be happy to. I'm happy to play it. I'll play Change. I love Cynthia, and I'm not taking anything away from that song. But it does. There's more than just Change on Me out there.
I want to hear all the new school songs that you've put on this mix. I have to listen to this mix. I know that Diddle D's probably in there somewhere. I want to see what you did. I want to see what you did with it. That was the song that a couple of days ago you did an acapella thing to it, and I'm like, how the fuck does he have the acapella?
I'm the only one that has it. And that's the version I play in the CD too, by the way.
This is the Freestyle Club. Pick hit of the week.
All right, yeah, let's try the Jay Mazer. I think that's the one I'm excited about today. I just listened to it today. Rudy Fausto turned me on to it.
I don't get you anymore. You're not the woman I adore. So much running through my mind. You know you're running out of time. I don't get you anymore. You're not the woman I adore. So much running through my mind. You know you're running out of time.
Where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook. They can find me on my YouTube channel, Tim Spin and Shomer. Facebook. They can find me. I'm on Twitter. I'm. My MySpace page is closed, I think.
What is
don't look for me there.
I know. What is your show on?
My show's on Sunday. Also, I'm doing a little Thursday thing too. When I get around to it, like 7 or 8, something like that. And but Sundays 7 to 9.
Yeah,
And
I
sometimes we
don't
go longer.
appreciate you going on Thursday and taking my 3 or 4 Facebook Live viewers.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to.
I paid top dollar for those viewers.
Cool. Well, I'll give them back to you when I'm done with them.
Okay, great. Tim,
Thanks,
it's
bro.
an honor.
Thanks for always being so nice and always looking out for me. I appreciate it. And don't think I don't know that you do that. And I know you look out for me, and I appreciate it. Both of you guys. Thank you for the love and support, man. I really, means the world to me. And let's keep this love thing going, man. I like
Absolutely.
it.
And let's get together and plan that Tim Spinning Shomer podcast.
You got it. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's really do that. All right. Only love, brother. All right.
Thank you.
Take care.